Right. Hello, everybody. Dave Anderson here, getting ready to do my first, what I'm going to call meaningful Project Motor Racing online race. They've got a Spark Challenge, which is an esports event. There's going to be 41 of us here in this particular session. And it's a Daytona promotion kind of around the Rolex 24, where really cool. They're going to give away some die cast across I think about 20 different die casts that they're giving away. And you have to run a few races over the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to try to run here, at least one of them, see how I do. We're about to get made into a lobby or into splits, I'm assuming. I'm not sure how big the splits are going to be. But they've got us broken down in divisions based on our rank for online, which I'm in Division 5, whatever that means. I'm not really sure. But they've been making a lot of improvements to the game. I've been pretty impressed with everything I've been seeing improvement-wise. But this will be my first time to really do what I'm going to say is a meaningful test of the multiplayer. So we're about to see, with 19 of us on here, how that's going to work. I'm just going to run a default setup. I'm just not going to mess with anything other than just sort of trying to get through the race and evaluate. That's mainly what I'm doing here. If I happen to get lucky and win a diecast in the process, that'll be really, really cool. But yeah, I'm just going to get out and race and run and have fun. It's a 10-lap race. It's a track that I really love. And yeah, here we go. This is qualifying. So I'll go ahead and run a couple of laps of qualifying just to get used to the car. It is GT3s, and I think for this particular contest it's sponsored by a couple of manufacturers. So they've got Ford GT3 Mustang and this Corvette that I'm in. So kind of a Ford versus Chevrolet deal. It's kind of cool. Alright, so not really anybody around me right now, so it's hard to see kind of, but I do see a couple of guys ahead here. He was a little bouncy there, so that leaves a little concern. Kind of similar to what you see in Race Room. I've noticed Race Room, the cars seem a little jittery. But, you know, fairly solid other than that. Sort of have to get used to it with Race Room, so we'll see how it is here. Physics-wise and just drivability, they've made major improvements. So I'm, pretty happy with the general handling and the force feedback and all that good stuff. So this multiplayer component is sort of the biggest thing on my mind now. Curious what the times are going to be here. Similar to, we just ran the iRacing Daytona 4. A 45 was a good lap time in these cars. Looks like the time, at least for me, is going to be a little slower than that. I don't know how these are tuned. I'm currently in 5th place out of 19. Somebody ran a 47, which seems really quick. Looks like I'm going to run somewhere around a 50. And I'm going to pause after this lap. This is interesting. The guy coming up behind me is a ghost. So I'm wondering if they've got ghosting turned on or something. See if I can't figure that out. So let's take a quick look at the standings. So looks like we've got 19 guys in here. I'm currently in 5th. Let's see here. Can I get... tire compound set to medium. I'm wondering if I ought to go to a soft tire. How much fuel I'm using? 0.7. So I'm not going to need more than about 15 gallons of fuel here. So yeah, I'm going to go to a soft tire. It's only a 10-lap race. 11 gallons will be plenty. see here. Alright, it should be fine. Looks like I've fallen down to about 9th place in the standings here. Got a few guys showing up as DQ. Not really sure why. I don't know if they just didn't connect to the server or... I am expecting the idiot factor to be extremely high in this. As far as guys out here on the track.
We can try and balance the car for longer run pace, but I was really hoping qualifying would go better for us.
Alright, it's got a built-in spotter. You can hear him talking, or a crew chief or whatever. So it looks like I'm going to start in 10th place. A bunch of guys were DQ'd. I don't know if that means they were just DQ'd from qualifying, or doing something they shouldn't have done. But here we go. Here's the moment of truth. The guy in front of me is definitely looking like a ghost. I don't know if we're going to have a rolling start or a standing start here. Appears to be a standing start. Already got hit. sure why the guy in front of me is a ghost. Whereas the guy in front of him is not. I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, it's weird. The guy 2 cars ahead is a ghost, but the other cars don't appear to be. Maybe he's disqualified or something? Yeah, it's hard to say. I'll have to research that. Alright, well, let's see what we can do here. Ooh, I just about wrecked there. Drove it in really deep. Cars don't seem to be jittery, so that's good, like I reported earlier. So maybe that was just an anomaly. Again, the only thing I can't figure out is why is the car in front of me a ghost? And that could just be a setting of this contest or something, I don't know. Maybe they have it set where car immediately ahead or behind you is a ghost or something, I don't know. Collision detection off or something. I think over time, if they continue to put the development into this thing and they don't give up on it, company's able to stay funded, I think this is going to turn into a pretty good game. It's already orders of magnitude better than what it was the first day I played it. I think there may be a peer-to-peer issue with the multiplayer, similar to like Automobilista 2. Ooh, he's wrecking in front of me. We're about to find out if he's really a ghost or not here. Kind of afraid to race him. Well, let's see if the guy in front of me turns into a ghost. I wonder if that could also be a cross-platform thing. Like that's somebody on Xbox or something. Alright, well, we got her into P5 here. I got a guy behind me that's catching me, though. He's been catching me for a few laps. He's quicker than I am. By the way, I ran a 48, so the soft tires have definitely helped. Comes this guy behind me. He's just got a better setup than I do, and he looks like a ghost. Now, oh wow, that was bizarre. Could that possibly be an AI car? I don't think so. I'm guessing they must have some sort of collision detection turned off. And I'm starting to see, with this guy in particular, I'm seeing a little bit of warp here. Oh shit, what is... I'm wrecking here, my screen. I had Steam pop up just out of nowhere in front of me. Like it was doing an update. I've never seen that before. Probably couldn't see it on the stream, but I had a window on my PC just pop up. It was my Steam UI. Thank God I didn't crash. In my haste to fix it, I sort of scratched myself on something side of my rig here. And all sorts of issues going on all of a sudden.
Halfway point.
Oh, I'm losing it. So a few things I've talked about before, like I use SimHub, I have some external displays, that type of thing. All that works well. That guy's not a ghost. The physics of the game are definitely more sim than they are like a simcade. Force feedback is pretty solid. Graphics are nice. Performance of said graphics, you know, are pretty nice. A little questionable on some of the multiplayer still, just the ghost things bother me. But again, I'm going to reserve judgment on that. I think that could just be a setting of this lobby. This is like an esports thing, and you know, maybe they have it configured in such a way. But I'd like to understand that. But I'm not noticing. I did notice there was one car in front of me that had a couple of times where he lagged. So I don't know. You know, I'm not in close enough quarters to really be able to tell. Up to 4th place. I've got this guy behind me now. If he catches me, we'll see if he's a ghost. He was solid when I went by him. Seem to be pulling away from him though. Must have a little damage. Oh, here's one that's wrecked, and he's a ghost. Maybe like when you wreck, you turn into one. I don't know. And by the way, I'm saying ghost, but I don't know if they're collidable or not because I haven't hit one of them. I'm afraid to do so. Actually got a pretty good race going here, so I don't really want to screw it up if I can afford not to. I'm actually in 3rd place now, it looks like. Boy, I'm overdriving the entry to that chicane. This guy's gonna catch me as a result of it. Kind of wanted to touch him out of curiosity. He must be a ghost. I think we would have made a little contact there. He fell off again. had the screen, the Steam screen, pop up again. I don't know if that's a project, not Project Cars, but like Project Motor Racing thing, or if it's some other issue going on my PC. Looks like we're going to bring home a third place finish here. About 8 or 9 guys that didn't start. See what it does here at the end. It's doing a cool down lap by itself.
Fantastic job, you made the podium.
Okay, and it just says finish weekend. Save the replay. Okay, so it looks like it's just going to load. And it's like these races are running every 2 hours or so, because the next one is 2 hours from now. Round 2, championship ends in 9 days. Okay, so I would have to run in one more race. Here I am. I'm in 23rd position. Okay. So yeah, I'll have to give it another shot, run one more. But yeah, not too bad. There's some issues. I'm not sure about the ghosting thing. I wonder if there's a way that I can check the lobby of this before I get offline here. Let's see if I register here for the next race. Am I able to see the settings? Doesn't look like it. So, yeah, I'll have to research that when I get done. But, yeah, that's essentially where things are. Okay, I want to unregister from this one. If I can. Confirm. All right, well, I'll continue to do some testing and all that sort of stuff. And we'll go from there.